For 250 years, the U.S. Army has defended its people, land, and the American way of life. At the dawn of our nation, farmers, craftsmen, and patriots stood against the mightiest empire in the world. These citizen soldiers took up arms to fight for independence and prevailed. At Lexington and Concord and through the bitter winter at Valley Forge, the Army fought for and secured our nation's freedom. 30 years later, in the War of 1812, the Army faced another test as British forces marched on our young republic. At Fort McHenry, under relentless bombardment, the Army held firm. "This will defend" was not just a rallying cry, it was a promise that ensured the sovereignty of our country. Then, the greatest test of all, the Civil War, pitted brother against brother in a nation divided. The Army fought not just for land, but for the preservation of the Union and for freedom. At Gettysburg, at Antietam, and beyond, they defended their belief in a unified country, which shaped the future of our nation. The Army has remained committed to defending the nation against all enemies. Join us as we celebrate the Army's 250-year history. This will defend. "250 years. That's how long the U.S. Army has stood watch over this great nation, defending our freedom through every storm. In the bloodiest battles of the 20th century, American soldiers answered the call, fighting wherever liberty was at risk. In 1917, as the world was consumed by war, the U.S. Army entered a conflict like no other. In the trenches of France, soldiers faced barbed wire, poison gas, and relentless artillery. At Cantigny, they launched their first major assault. At Saint-Mihiel, they executed a swift and decisive attack, proving American strength. And during the Meuse-Argonne Offensive, the largest battle in U.S. history, they shattered enemy lines, helping bring the war to its end. In 1941, when the world plunged into war yet again, the Army was ready. From the deserts of North Africa to the hedgerows of France, from the islands of the Pacific to the streets of Berlin, U.S. soldiers carried the weight of the free world. On June 6, 1944, they stormed the beaches of Normandy, charging through the surf and gunfire and climbing cliffs against overwhelming odds. Victory was never certain, but they fought fiercely and triumphed. Their fight wasn't just for America. It was for millions silenced by tyranny. 5 years after World War II, another struggle for freedom erupted. In Korea, the Army faced not only a determined enemy, but brutal winters and impossible odds. In the Battle of Incheon, their fierce fighting forced the North Korean Army to retreat. At the Pusan perimeter, they held the line. And in the frozen hills of Chosin, they fought with every ounce of strength to defend liberty. Through the blood, sweat, and sacrifice of these generations, the U.S. Army has withstood the test of time. Even in the darkest hours, one promise has remained unbroken. This will defend. For 2.5 centuries, the U.S. Army has guarded freedom and served the people of the United States. Through decades, conflicts, and wars, American soldiers have risen to the occasion, defending what matters most. In the 1960s, as tensions escalated in Southeast Asia, the Army was called to Vietnam. In the dense jungles, soldiers fought a relentless battle against an elusive enemy. The Army's strength was on display in the Battle of Ia Drang, where soldiers held firm under extreme conditions. In the face of uncertainty, the Army showed unwavering commitment to their mission. In 1990, the Army was called to the Middle East as Iraq threatened to dominate its neighbors. From the deserts of Saudi Arabia to the streets of Kuwait, soldiers launched a decisive offensive, pushing back the forces of tyranny and restoring peace. In just 100 hours, the Army's swift and overwhelming force liberated Kuwait, proving the might of American power and determination. Then, in 2001, the world changed. The attacks on September 11th set in motion a new era of conflict. The U.S. Army stood at the forefront of the global war on terrorism, fighting in Afghanistan and Iraq. In the mountains of Tora Bora, soldiers pursued those responsible for the attacks. And in the streets of Baghdad, soldiers faced an insurgency determined to tear the region apart. Their commitment never wavered as soldiers confronted each new trial, ensuring the security of America and its allies in a world that had been forever altered. Over its 250-year history, the U.S. Army has secured freedom abroad, protected the homeland, and defended the foundations of democracy, staying true to its motto, "This will defend."
For 250 years, the United States Army has stood as a steadfast guardian of the nation's security, dedicating itself to protecting the U.S. and its allies around the globe. Through countless conflicts, missions, and efforts, the Army has demonstrated commitment, courage, and sacrifice in the face of evolving threats. More than 2 centuries strong, powered by soldiers, defined by sacrifice. Happy birthday, Army.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
سنة ونكسن.
Happy birthday.
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 عيد ميلاد سعيد.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
From the U.S. Embassy in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, happy birthday, Army.
From the U.S. Embassy, Juba, South Sudan.
Happy birthday, Army. From Mogadishu, happy birthday, Army.
From the United States Army in Kismayo, Somalia,
happy birthday, Army.
From Combined Joint Task Force Horn of Africa here in Manda Bay, Kenya.
Happy birthday, Army.
Malatogo Military Airfield, Somalia.
Happy birthday, Army.
From the U.S. Army at Camp Lemonnier, Djibouti.
Happy birthday, Army.
Men of the world are marching together to victory. I have full confidence in your courage, devotion to duty, and skill in battle. We will accept nothing less than full victory.
Dzień dobry.
Yes, okay, give me your...
From Team 405. Happy 250th birthday, U.S. Army. Support the warrior!
I'm Lieutenant Colonel Stephen Huckleberry.
And I'm Major Jason Simpkins.
And we're from the Field Artillery Squadron, 2nd Cavalry Regiment. And we are wishing the U.S. Army a happy 250th birthday.
Happy birthday, Army!
Stand by! Hooked up! Fire! Woo!
Reach open.
Staff Sergeant Moda here. We're Distro Platoon 1-3 Attack Battalion, and we just want to wish the Army a happy 250.
Happy birthday!
Hello, I am Staff Sergeant Wyatt Ward. These are the Armin Dogs. And on behalf of the 12th Combat Aviation Brigade, we'd like to wish the Army to its 250th birthday.
Happy birthday, Army!
Happy birthday, United States Army.
Happy birthday, United States Army Corps of Engineers.
I'm Major General Kimberly Colleton, Deputy Chief of Engineers, and I have the opportunity today to be out here with Colonel Justin Pabus, Commander of New England District, as we get ready to honor our nation's birthday and our Corps of Engineers birthday. We are here where it all began, on the North Bridge in Concord, Massachusetts. We celebrate what we have done to defend our nation and protect our freedom for the past 250 years. I think we are all excited about what we're going to do for the next 250 years.
And so this is my grandfather here. That's Corporal Joseph Briggs. And then being an infantryman myself is trying to put myself in those boots and, you know, like go from Normandy to the Battle of the Bulge and try and understand those challenges that they had. You can definitely feel the presence of and the magnitude of how important these grounds are. It's going to be a highlight in my 20-year career. I know that. I know it'll be something that I get to look back on for the rest of my life. And then just being able to carry out a family legacy it means the world to me.
Right, more, left, 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 right. 1, 2, 3, 4, Wait. Forward. Hard time. March. 1. 2. Group. Halt. Right. Haste. Parade. Rest.
I got it! Us! Wygląda! Wydoś!
Et les parachutages de ces hommes venus des...
more slowly than expected through the hedgerow and the field full of the enemy, where each edge, each corner of the wall became an ambush. 308 soldiers lost their life, and it was this unit of the 90th Infantry Division. We owe endless recognition to every one of these men who allowed a return to peace and freedom.
Messieurs les différents représentants des différentes... Mesdames, Messieurs, en ce jour historique du 6 juin,
supported by paratroopers from the 508 PIR, they liberated Picoville. The 90th shared what lives with us today, the bonds of courage, sacrifice, pride in standing for what is right in the world, and the willingness to lay down your life for the person next to you in defense of freedom. Here in France, your families and countrymen longed for freedom, and that longing fueled the ready resistance, just as long as it fueled our soldiers, and we together deepen our bonds, restoring your freedom. The cost for many was destruction of their communities and significant losses to their families. Normandy carries the warrior's heritage, and the steel in the spine of your ancestors has allowed for the undefeated spirit of rebuilding, remembering, and reinforcing the strength of new generations. New generations of tough hombres will step forward ready and capable to stand with you in courage and defend freedom. Thank you.
Ici en France, vos familles et vos compatriotes aspirez à la liberté, et cette aspiration a nourri votre résistance, tout comme elle a nourri de celle de nos soldats, et ensemble, nous avons renforcé nos liens en vous rendant votre liberté. Pour beaucoup, le prix à payer a été la destruction de leur communauté et des pertes importantes pour leur famille.
On this very day, 81 years ago, the landing of Allied troops in Normandy marked the starting gun for the liberation of Europe from Nazi tyranny. Si l'on considère qu'après ce succès héroïque, il fallut encore presque un an.
June 1944, a day when American combat infantry made history on the beaches of Normandy in France. It was D-Day, and the men of the Blue Badge were bringing the war to the enemy.
In the ships of the invasion fleet,
the men can hear the steady pounding of their fire on the enemy's positions, and they wonder hopefully if anything can be left alive on shore. In a world of nausea and fear and tension, the trip to the beaches begins. At the spear tip of this historic seaborne attack are some 3,000 men, American, British, and Canadian troops, who will hit in the first wave. Exposed to fire from an enemy they cannot yet see, they rock toward land. The beachhead soon expands from foothold to lodgment. Men and weapons and equipment pour ashore. 10 months of war still lie ahead in Europe. Bitter fighting through the hedgerow country of the lodgment area. But in the main, the progress of battle will follow the bold plan conceived in Allied councils and brought to flaming life by the men who stormed the Normandy beaches on a day which will forever be known as D-Day.
For 250 years, the U.S. Army has been the world's premier ground force. Even the best don't do it alone.
Soldiers, sailors, and airmen of the Allied Expeditionary Force, you are about to embark upon the Great Crusade. The free men of the world are marching together to victory. I have full confidence in your courage, devotion to duty, and skill in battle. We will accept nothing less than full victory.
When our army hits the dirt, our nation means business. Our allies and partners don't want to fight without us, and our adversaries are wise to fear us.
Our partnership with Africa is a partnership of friends working together to address social, economic, and security challenges.